Hey Tarot friends, Jade here. Welcome back to my channel for another side-by-side comparison. And this video is for my friends who like to geek out on Tarot de Marseille decks. I saw a post that a few people were looking for a comparison between this deck here, which in the center, which is the Tarot Classic. And I'll show you the box here. And two Burdel decks. So on the left, my left, is the Claude Burdel. Let's see if I can fit this in here. Claude Burdel, 1751. This is by Yves Renaud. And the deck on my right is another Burdel deck. This is Claude's grandson, I believe, who is Jacques Burdel, 1813. And again, it is by Yves Renaud. Okay. So I thought I would just flip through. It's funny because the box of the Tarot Classic has something that's completely incorrect in terms of what this deck is based on. It says, the box says that this deck is based on the original 18th century woodcuts by Claude Burdel, but I believe that Stuart Kaplan has since come back and confirmed that that's actually not true. And I did have a sticky note on one of the cards, I think, as to where this one came from. I do. Just gonna pull it off here. Okay, so put that back. So this Tarot Classic is based on the Johannes Müller and C. Hopefully I spelled that correctly. It is also called the Swiss or the Schaffhaus deck, and it is circa 1880s. So there you go. So I thought we would do a side-by-side again, as I said, for my friends who like to geek out on this. I happen to have these decks, so I thought I would do this. Okay, so let's flip these around. And hopefully this isn't going to be too awkward. All right. So right away you can see that the coloration is different. Sorry, these two decks are obviously much thicker than the Tarot Classic one, but these two Fools are very similar. There are some differences as well in the coloring, but okay. I'm just gonna flip through. I'm not a huge TDM. I'm not hugely knowledgeable on Tarot de Marseille, so I'm not going to comment too much other than just on the artwork that I like, the colors that I like, and you know, you'll see some of the differences as we go. If you do have, if you are a Tarot de Marseille geek, good on you, and please do, you know, leave comments down in the sections below with any information on these. I'd be happy to do that. So, or be happy to read those. The faces here are what you can see in this deck, which is the Claude Burdel. Claude has actually, you know, cleaned up the faces, it looks like, whereas in the Jacques Burdel, the Papessa's face is, the line work is almost gone. Obviously the colors are different. And actually, if we just compare these two, so you can see right away the differences that are there. I'm just going to adjust the camera. see if I can make this just a bit. Don't want to make you guys dizzy. So you can see the coloring is quite different between them all. Look at his face. Quite different in terms of coloring anyway, but even the line work, look at the face on the creature at the top. So I am actually grateful for the error on this on the Stuart Kaplan deck, because if it weren't for that, I might not have the Claude or Jacques Burdel decks. And the reason I say that, actually, this is a good indication right here that tells you that the classic is not based off of the Burdels, because of the direction that the hanged man is hanging from, and also the fact that he's hanging from 2 legs as opposed to just 1 in each of the Burdels. Yeah, so the classic, the Tarot Classic is a deck. Actually, when we get to the minors, you'll see I really enjoy how the minors are decorated, and well, what they look like in general, much better. In particular, the swords and actually all of them. All right, let's be honest here. So again, you can see the difference in the Devil card. It is quite striking in terms of just the devil itself, what that looks like, and then also the creatures down below and how they're tied up. This one actually looks like he's, hanging on to the devil. Anyway, so I keep interrupting myself, but the Tarot Classic was the first Tarot de Marseille deck that I really found myself enjoying, largely because of the minors, and we didn't have the batons and the faces. The batons and the swords are quite different than what we see typically in a conver deck, for example. I love these faces in the sun, but I also really love the coloring. And once I discovered these restorations, such as by Yves Reynaud, then I knew I had to get I really wanted to get one of these, so I ended up getting both just because of the shipping costs. So you can see in the Jacques Burdel, everything, like the Claude Burdel, looks like things have been cleaned up. The lines have been cleaned up, as opposed to the Jacques Burdel. You can see the lines are, or maybe the original woodcuts, the lines, you know, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but things are kind of more faded. The lines are missing in some sections, and it just looks older, right? As opposed to the Claude Burdel, which actually came maybe about 20-something years earlier. All right, so we get to the minors. We'll go through quickly these because it'll be very apparent what the differences look like. But again, you can see quite a difference here in the fruits and the flowers. I'm so happy I have these two Burdels. I just love these batons. I do not have, oh, actually I do. So just for anybody who is not a card geek and perhaps is curious as to what I'm talking about in terms of the batons. So this is typically what, the coloring may change, but this is typically what the batons would look like, say in a conver-based deck, and you can see the spiky black things at the ends, whereas in the Burdels are much more ornate. And so I prefer these. I also really prefer the coloring. I love how, in each of these Burdels, I love how the coloring sort of goes outside the lines. Things look a little bit blurry, a little bit older. I really enjoy that. And if you're going to use a tool, then you might as well enjoy it, right? So I'll just go through. Okay, so we get to the valets. Again, you can see that the Terra Classic looks nothing like the two Burdels. We have the knights. The queens. Oh, I missed one. Okay. That's the one I meant to remove. Okay, so we get to the aces. To be honest, I don't know which of the Burdels is my favorite. I really love them both. Just going to go through these very quickly. It always struck me that the Knight of Swords in the Tarot de Marseille decks just looks, he just looks so much more, so much less crazy than the Knight of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith decks. Or the Knight of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck just looks like he's going to, you know, he's determined, he's going to do what he needs to do. Definitely somebody you want on your side in a fight, but he also doesn't care who he runs over, so. All right, so we get to the coins. Gorgeous coins. I love this one. They're all beautiful. Slight differences there. Oh, and this one. There it is. Okay. And so I didn't realize this when I first got this. It actually says right on it, Chef House. So that's cool. I think my favorite of these is this coin here. Again, I think this is my favorite. These are my favorite coins for sure. I just love the design and I love the coloring. Although the Tarot Classic is really nice too. All right. I have to stop staring at them and just show them. All right, so we get to the valets. I really enjoy the coloring on the Tarot Classic. I'm not gonna lie. I love those blues, those greens. Cups. This is my favorite cup by far. Yeah, I definitely prefer this style to the church-like one. These cups are all beautiful. Okay, so we get to the valets. Quite a difference in the coloring of their coat. The Claude Burdel has removed a lot of the designs on his jacket, which I find interesting. The knights. The queens. I love how their expressions are all slightly different. And, oops, the kings. This guy is facing forward and these guys are all kind of looking off to the right. So that's it. So those are the two Burdels and the Tarot Classic, which is based off the Chef House deck. I love them all for different reasons, for sure. But I think my favorite is probably the Claude Burdel deck. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. That bit of geekery on examining what's essentially the same style of deck, and really minor things as opposed to, or really minor changes as opposed to something like Rider-Waite-Smith decks where you can get all kinds of different themes and actual artwork. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please do hit the like and subscribe button, and let me know what you think. And if you have, what are your favorites out of those three? I'd love to hear. Leave me a comment down below. And until the next time, my friends.